Second Amendment states, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." This amendment gives the United States military the right to make weapons for the preparation of warfare. But what if the weapon the military is making is the atomic bomb? What if making these weapons infringes on the unalienable right to life that everyone has, as stated in the Declaration of Independence? Los Alamos, New Mexico is famous for the development of the atomic bomb under the direction of J. Robert Oppenheimer. A lesser-known influential presence at Los Alamos was Edward Grothus. After working at Los Alamos for 20 years as a machinist, Edward became an activist against the atomic bomb and war. Edward Grothus's life embodies how American citizens can exercise their Second Amendment right to bear arms, but also have a responsibility to protect all life. Through his time working at Los Alamos and as an activist against nuclear warfare, his life has become a testament to a radical method of defending life in the face of war. In the defense of life, what if one bomb is too many? Born on June 28, 1923, in Clinton, Iowa, Edward Grothus was the son of Theodore and Regina Grothus and the oldest of 8 children. Edward's father owned a machine shop, and Edward apprenticed under his father throughout high school. After high school, on the brink of World War II, Edward was rejected from military service for medical reasons. He then began working at the Rock Island Arsenal, a munitions plant on an island across the river from Davenport. After World War II, he continued his education for 2 years at the University of Iowa before joining the Merchant Marine. 2 years later, he arrived back in Iowa in January of 1949 and resumed working at the Rock Island Arsenal. A coworker told him that Los Alamos was looking for machinists. Edward applied for the job of second-class machinist in February of 1949. He was hired on June 6th. As a machinist in 1949, he soon began working at the lab's R site, where he was a key link in the process for making better, lighter and more delicate atomic bombs. These weapons were said to be 30 times smaller and 30 times stronger than the original atomic bomb. 2 years later, Edward opened the Black Hole, which was a retail store for Los Alamos's discarded science equipment, including light reflectors, decorated bomb casings, and a variety of laboratory equipment and parts. Over the following years, Edward began to question the ethics of working at Los Alamos. He also found the killing and the destruction in Vietnam extremely objectionable. He consequently wrote editorials to the Eye of Stone newspaper speaking out against the Vietnam War. In 1969, Edward stopped working at Los Alamos National Laboratory because he was nervous about being laid off and did not agree with America's role in the Vietnam War. Meanwhile, he continued his work at the Black Hole as a peace activist.
He took us through his work. Somebody said if you wanted something made, he could make it. He was very talented.
Did he always have, even though you didn't see him a lot growing up, when you did go visit him, did he always have a strong belief in what he thought was right? Like always very set in what he thought?
Yeah, he did. He eventually, he worked for the government, but then the Vietnam War came and he changed 180 with the bomb. One bomb is too many.
Edward's new mission involved protesting nuclear weapons. He peacefully protested the use of bombs and America's involvement in the Vietnam War by sending telegrams to the White House to President Richard Nixon, President Gerald Ford, and former Secretary of the Treasury, Mr. Henry H. Fowler. Other forms of activism he engaged in include protesting in Los Alamos National Laboratory's parking lot with signs that read, "One bomb is too many." He also sent canned beans with the label organic plutonium to the White House. For this, he was investigated by the Secret Service to decide if he was a radical, jokester, or threat. Also, at the annual parade for the Fiesta de Santa Fe, Edward and other activists would ride in a parade float with the slogan, "Billions for bombs, peanuts for people," using cartoons of characters from the Peanuts comic accompanied by Ed's panel truck adorned with banners and a fake bomb on top, in an attempt to alert more notice to the many injustices of the bomb manufacturing being done at Los Alamos. In his lifetime, Edward inspired many others to promote peace over war, including Suzuko Terada. Suzuko's daughter was killed in the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. After meeting Edward, she sent him this letter. It states, "When I spoke about my daughter, I used to shed tears. but I decided to live for the rest of my life as a witness to the war in order that no one should become a victim of war again. I hope that we go on with the movement for peace together. Since his death on February 12, 2009, Edward's legacy is continued and preserved by his daughter, Barbara Grothus.
There are international anti-nuclear organizations that recognized his contribution and his, I guess you would say, to some extent, courage. People who stand up. That standing up is the first courageous moment, and once you've stood up, you don't lose that courage.
Edward Grothus's life is a testament that while we all have the right to act within our amendments, such as the right to bear arms and make war weapons, we have the responsibility to choose to act in ways that protect the rights of others.